So you probably think that's clickbait, but it's not. We're going to build my dog a $4,000 watering bowl. Now, how are we going to do this? We're actually going to utilize a Aquascape ecosystem pondless feature with a additional dog bowl or patio pond that's been also turned into a wetland filter. That way, my dog gets to have naturally filtered water that she can have at any time. I had only 8 hours to complete this entire thing, but that 8 hours was spread out over the course of a Sunday and an entire week of after work. So what I did was I got myself started and then got this loaded back up onto the truck so that can get to the site. From there, I hand dug. Thankfully, with the pondless system, I only needed about 180 gallons of storage, so it wasn't very large. Used a couple large aqua blocks plus the pondless vault so that we can get that nice flow. And then I actually ran the plumbing up, I teed it off, and I utilized the spillway for the typical pondless. Even though normally I actually like to use a bio falls for our pondless systems because that added filtration, and I really like the upflow look of it. I find that we're getting very good at actually hiding that. We have built some of the craziest features in all of Canada, from Wonderland to the Toronto Zoo to Ontario Science Centre to Drumheller Museum to Fort Edmonton casinos. The list continues on because we've been building for 40 years. But this one was near and dear to my heart, and I wanted to make sure that I give the best possible environment and drinking water for my dog. She typically needs to eat and drink at 18 inches because she's so tall. Now, what we did was after I teed it off and put a bulkhead into the bottom of the patio pond, I then layered the large stone, medium stone, and small stone at the top. I notched it out for my nice spillway over, and then I added some plants. Now, we are going to have some experimenting with plants over the years. These ones seem to do great. The hydrangeas looked fantastic within probably 2 or 3 weeks of being transplanted from other parts of my garden. And then we added mint, and I think herbs are actually going to be a really fun part of this in the future. I'm even going to try to grow a tomato plant. Now, the dog may or may not let that happen. She did seem to be okay with the rest of them. We left lots of room for her to drink out of. But with any water feature, this thing is going to be ever evolving. I did add a lot of moss so that we could have this unique drip edge over the front of the patio pond. I do love the look of the patio pond, but in my mind, the less man-made features that you can see, the better. And I really wanted it to seem like this thing has been there forever. So the only way that actually works is if nature is starting to overgrow it. So I used the waterfall foam, and then I actually put the moss over top of that, and it created this beautiful drip edge, and also added as additional filtration for the whole system. So that was fun. On top of that, once we did do this, I wanted to add some lighting because we have this beautiful giant maple tree above. And I knew that when we're barbecuing out on our deck, we would love to see that flickering light and just add a little bit of ambience for the whole backyard. So we did add the 3 spotlights, the 1 watt Aquascapes. So yes, that's a long-winded way of saying this $4,000 Aquascape ecosystem pondless waterfall and patio bowl also doubles as my dog's favorite drinking bowl.